Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to wait and see if anybody else wants to join us. I'm so excited for us to connect in this way online for the Soul Sync Up. Is this our third one? I believe it is our third one. So, and I get to bring in the whole Florida energy from everything we've been doing here. And it's been quite magical. So, yeah. So you got back to, you went to Washington, D.C., Jennifer, and where else did you go then?
Yeah, I was in Washington, D.C. most recently. I was there for 12 days.
Oh, wow.
I got back Thursday night. And before that, I was in Nashville for 10 days.
Wow. Yeah, that's a haul.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it feels like my whole life was kind of on hold or put at the side, yet I was still, it was weird.
yeah, it
I
is.
had all these experiences in other places, and yeah, the energy in Washington, D.C. was a lot.
I bet. Yeah, because there's just a lot clearing out of there,
It was just exhausting. Just being there, I was so tired. It was strange. It was just, I think the energy there is just, I don't know. There's a lot of different, of all the different types.
Right. Well, because people are in such different places with everything,
Okay.
So, yeah, wow. So Karen and Sue, we just got back from the beach. Not to rub it in, but it has been very nice today. Yeah, bare shoulders. I'm not cold. I'm enjoying every moment of it because I know it's going to be different when we get back. I just went to try to sign into I signed into my airline reservation. And it said Arctic blast going to hit Minnesota.
Oh, really?
I don't know. That's what was the headline. So
yeah, it's gonna get cold. I see that now. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is.
Are you gonna drink from the bottle?
It is.
So anyway, well, we'll get going here, and Sue and Karen are actually here live too. Karen Dowse, and I don't know if the other Karen is going to join us, but it's all perfect, right? So let's just energetically connect, and let's just kind of breathe here. And let's just reach out to everyone in this Soul Sync Up group. And already what I'm experiencing is this swirling energy from here, arcing to Minnesota. You know what I mean? There's this almost like a rainbow arc of energy. So let's kind of breathe into that. Oh, wow. Just as you guys breathe, it just went, yeah, you felt that too?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna, this just in, I think you guys want to sit flat feet because we're gonna move some energy here. And so we're on, well, 7 o'clock your time. As you can see, it's 8 o'clock. Our big clock here is so happy. It's been holding time. So in the new clock, the fourth layer, which we haven't really gone through all the different steps, we will maybe tonight. But 7 o'clock, or the 7 is fullness achieved. So let's breathe into that. Fullness achieved. So you guys are anchoring the fullness achieved. We're anchoring bid me enter. That's what 8 is. Bid me enter. And remember the 8 separated itself. And so we have these 2 circles dancing with the 8 energy now. set upon this time, set upon this course, or it could be set upon this course, set upon this time. And now it's bid me enter. This just in, it's like a portal. 8 is like a portal. I'm just getting this now. This just in, you guys. 8 is really going to be doing a lot this year in this now 2020 year. So it's saying, I almost see it. Well, not almost, I do see it. I see it like a portal energy. So there is this portal of the human, portal of the soul, and they're gonna dance together with, oh, okay, this is nice. You feel it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's with the eyes. It's with the eyes. So the 2 8s are the eyes. Oh no. And so, and then of course the true eye, right? The third eye is the essence eye. So there's this whole, this makes more sense to me now, bid me enter, because it's like you're entering in to the sight. I feel this, the sight of the soul, so that the essence sight, the essential sight, which is working with the essential brain, can be recognized at this point. Recognized. Somebody want to just get me a little soda right now? Yeah.
Right there.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you want it in a
Oh my
glass?
gosh, they got me root beer. Root beer. So let's breathe into that, because this is just coming in. And what happened to Trudy? Is she still here? She
I'm
was
still
so-
here.
Oh, okay. Okay, I just want to make sure you're still there, Trudy.
Yeah.
You weren't showing up. So
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with?
did you guys hear that?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I don't have an answer for that. Yeah, I don't have an answer for that. Let's get to that. Oh, funny. So let's kind of breathe into that download that just came in here, that energy. What do you get with that, Trudy?
Wow. I'm just being with that bit about the eyes. It just, I don't know what it is about that, but I mean, there's just something so obvious.
I
Like, how
feel-
did we not get it before?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's breathe into
Wow.
that. Jennifer, what do you experience with that?
Well, as Trudy was saying that, I was hearing I as in the letter I, like I.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. But it's like it's like it's all the eyes, right?
Yeah.
It's all eyes. Yeah. Oh yeah. All eyes are on earth. Hello, where have we been? Oh my gosh, I could have had a V8. Oh, let's breathe into that. All eyes are on earth. That makes so much sense now. Love this new brain. Hello, McFly. Okay, so let's breathe into that. Do you feel yourself expand? Like, I don't know. I'm feeling everybody just kind of with that.
Is it warm enough?
So,
No, your feet's up.
Karen, do you have anything with that? The eyes?
We kept seeing it like in the clouds.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
So the clouds have been speaking loudly. We've had very succinct weather down here. It has not been consistent, which is not as typical. A lot of times Florida kind of has a stream about it, but we kept witnessing these eyes in the sky from the clouds. Okay, so let's breathe into that. Eyes in the sky.
Mhm.
I feel this.
Mhm.
Eyes in the sky. Eyes in the sky. Ooh, eyes in the sky. Eyes in the sky.
Mm.
Like diamonds.
Like diamonds. Okay, I
Yeah.
feel that.
Mhm.
Let's everybody chime in, whatever's there for you. Any kind of remembering. That's what this
What I
is about.
got is I got a visual of, isn't there an eye on the back of the dollar bill? Like in the pyramid?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Excuse me while I have a little dinner. Yes. Yes.
That's what I saw.
Yeah. The
Mhm.
dollar, the one, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
One.
The one. So, yeah, and of course it's the all-seeing eye.
Mhm.
So that's what's happened. January was a one. The one got activated of the all-seeing eye. So all eyes are on earth. That makes sense. Like all our eyes have been activated. And haven't we,
Mm. Virginia
our
had all the eyes
experience-
in there.
yes.
I mean,
yeah. So are you online?
I don't have your
Okay.
Zoom.
Oh,
invite.
you didn't get it? Come over here a minute. Come share your, I'm gonna put you on. I'm gonna make Karen, not make her. I want her to share this experience we had down here because with Virginia and that whole portal that we opened.
Oh,
And then that had to do with all the eyes.
hi, everyone.
Hi.
Again.
I'm
Birthday.
getting, well, yeah, it's just as Jill said, we're very close to the beach here, which is nice. The energy next to the water really helps the vibration be higher. And it's like you can see things, feel things. It's really been a wonderful experience. Just even on the first day, we're walking up the beach, and I was walking up the beach, and I got led to stop at this one bench, and I looked at the bench, and that, you know, they have these memorials on it, and this one was for Virginia. And I thought, my gosh, does she have a lot of eyes in her name? And yeah, I was just like, okay, why does she have so many eyes? So anyways, I sat down, and I could tell that there was a portal there. There must have been something like special with this woman or special about that place that she honored. And I sat there and I worked at kind of opening that up. And it felt just fantastic to be there. I mean, it was like, it's not something I normally do. It's not something I normally think about. But for some reason, it's like you get the hit and you just know you have to do something. And so it was a great experience. So I start walking back, and I run into Julie, and we didn't really even say anything. We just kind of turned around, and I thought, okay, I'm going to walk with her for a little while, and we end up at that same space.
Yeah.
And Julie says, oh, this space feels really good. So that was a validation for me that there was something there. And I said, well, I kind of, you know, I did something. And she said, okay, well, I'm called to do something here too. So she did, we sat there and we did a meditation, and we went way out in the cosmos. I mean, we were, whatever we were doing. And at the end, I was asked to put hearts around us in the sand. So I did this circle in the sand, and she's still laying out flat on the sand. You know, I'm thinking, well, I don't know where she went, but maybe she's coming back soon. So she, you know, she opens her eyes. I mean, and it wasn't that much later, you know, it was maybe a minute later. She sits up and she says, yeah, wow, I can't believe where I went. I went to Venus. And I'm going, well, that explains the hearts. Because all I could see was love and hearts and all this stuff.
Oh.
So we're just kind of looking at each other like, is this for real? What is going on here? Because honestly, I didn't even tell her about any of this. So we just kind of go, okay, that was really great. That was a great experience. So the next morning, I take my walk down the beach, and I'm thinking, I'm going to go visit Virginia today, see how she's doing. And
Oh, don't
oh
forget.
no, I
Yeah,
won't.
you
Okay,
gotta
okay.
tell that other
All
part.
right. So I'm sorry, I missed another important part. She passed away, on the memorial, it says the name in honor of the year that she was born and the year that she passed. She passed in 2015 or 16? 2016. And so you just kind of do the math in your head in terms of how long ago that was. And so now Julie's walking back with me from that meditation experience. And it's probably 10 minutes into our walk. And we see this mother and her 2 children there playing. And Julie says, oh, that little girl is Virginia Soul, come back. And I looked at her, we could tell. And I don't know how we could tell,
We
but
just
we knew, and she was exactly that age. So you could tell that the soul left, wanted to be in the same space, loved this area so much, and came back as a new soul. And so again, we're just kind of like, well, we're just going to go with this. We don't know where this is leading. The next day, when I took the walk, I went to visit that area. I knew something was special about it. And there was benches all set up for a wedding on the very spot where we had our meditation. I mean, there's this expansive beach in all directions. It's not like it's in front of a hotel or anything, but it was directly on top of where we did this meditation.
Oh my God. That's hilarious.
So I'm going, when I walk back, I'm going to let Julie know, what's happened here. So I'm starting to walk back. I run into Julie again. Now I'm not even looking for her. She just runs into me. I'm like, okay, we're going to go back down in this direction again. We're going to go back. I said, you won't believe there's a wedding being set up, in our spot. So we walk past it. We see all the chairs. Everything is getting ready to set up. And we do this. Again, we're not really talking. We're not having a conversation about this. We're observing. We're just feeling this space. And we both were honoring that space, hoping that I knew what I was doing. I don't know what Julie was doing, but I was trying to send blessings to not just the couple that was getting married there, but I was sending it to anyone that attended, because I wanted that space to be as special as possible. Mm-hmm. And so we walked past it, still not saying anything. And Julie said, well, B's telling me, you didn't even say that. You just found something in the sand.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to tell this part of it?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So what happened was, B had said, I have a surprise for you, which he does. He goes, I have a surprise for you. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm cruising. We're just kind of we're walking. And there's a wide path in that beach, that it's not narrow. So there's lots of different options to walk in. All of a sudden I looked down, and here is, we should almost get it.
Okay.
Karen will get it and show you guys. Here is this plastic, it was a kid's sand toy, I'm sure. It was a shell in the shape of a heart. I looked at it and go, oh, this is my present. It was just like, wow. I mean, and you have to have that awareness to look at that exact moment down at your feet. Otherwise you could miss it, So look at it. Oh, isn't that cute?
Sweet.
Just sweet.
That was steps away from this area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just right by that whole thing we just talked about. So then all of a sudden, I just put sand on my pizza. That's nice. Anyway, so then all of a sudden I take a couple steps and I'm guided to pick up this cap. So of course I'm like, oh, cool, we're gonna cap off something, you know? And then 2 steps later, there's another cap. And I heard, put it inside the other one. It fit perfectly, one inside the other. Okay? I walked 2 more steps, there was another cap. They all stacked perfectly, one inside the other. I mean, how's that happen, right? They all fit.
There's no other, there's nothing else around.
And there's no other place. And then also, then 2 more steps, there was this orange rind. And that fit perfectly inside the cap. And then B says, put the shell on it. The essence is no longer in front of the heart. It is in the middle. You feel this? It is now inside us and the high heart. That's what I got from all this. But I mean, we were just like, whoa. I mean, like how everything fit together, right? It was such a metaphor. Well, then Karen starts walking, and this is not that.
It's like maybe 4 steps.
Yeah, this is not 4 steps. All of a sudden, she picks up a cap. Another one. Now, this beach is immaculate.
It's immaculate. There's no
There's no
litter
pollution
anywhere.
on it.
There's no anything. I mean, we looked all the way back and forth and we didn't see anything on that beach.
Yeah. And then she found another cap, and hers fits inside. And then she had, of course, an orange cap, and that fit. And another piece of orange. And so we're both sitting there with our caps, everything fitting together. And, you know, it was such a metaphor because it's just like, trust the steps. You know, everything does fit together here. It may appear random, but it does all go together in a way we cannot think.
And those gifts would not have been given to us.
Oh, that's what they
Yeah.
said. If we had not remembered to stop and bless that portal again, to do the thing we did, whatever that was, it's so long ago, who remembers what I did? They said we wouldn't have received the gifts. But because we were present, we were just being, we weren't just chatting, you know what I mean? Like we were being soul. That because of that, we received the gifts. And everything just fit together magically. And that kind of set the tone for this soul immersion experience. And so the essence of this experience was, are you playing human or are you being soul? And so basically it was our checklist. Are we being human? Or, you know, playing human, pretending to be a human, or are we being soul? Now, there was this beautiful download that came in, and I took a picture of it, so I'll just text it to you guys after the webinar. But it basically, the way it came through a session when I was in the villages, it was like, it's like the ascension map on one page. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at this, it's awesome. I told people, I go, this is 16 years of work and processing and thousands of dollars and webinars and seminars. And I said, you're getting it all on one page. But it's really helpful how it lays itself out. And, oh, I might even have my notebook right here. Because everybody wants to know. Well, I will show you. Okay. So just kind of breathe into this. It's like, you know, it had the triangle at the top. This is not anything you guys haven't seen before from me, but it's the way it put itself all together. So we have the human aspect, the soul, and the essential part of us, right? That's the triangle. And so the journey has been merging our human aspect with our soul. So that's the step one. We have to merge our human and soul. And then once you have those merged, your essential nature can start coming into the vehicle. And then the divine child sits in the middle and can safely emerge. Do you feel that? So the human obviously loves to play. The game was for it to play in separation and illusion. The soul says, oh, all are one. And the essence says, well, I am. So when we play human, we are, of course, in our ego. It is all about the mind. It is dominated by thinking. It wants to just do. And then it's controlled by form. It judges. It works with beliefs, those concrete, oh, this is true because I believe it's true, you know? And then it wants control and proof and planning. It plays with want and need, and it wants to understand everything, and it wants to build a life. Now, that has been all of our journey up to this point. But as we've been, working this soul journey now, we're moving more and more into, being operated through our essential spirit, which it works through the heart, which operates by feeling and knowing, dominated by its just being. And it wants to remember it is shape, not form. It sees clearly, there's our eyes, right? And it just believes. It lives now and just believes. It trusts and has faith. And instead of saying, I want, I need, it says, I know. And it understands, not understands. It understands. And our soul just wants to live. And it works from living our very essence, the big love, where the human plays in that ooey gooey little love. Super cool. And then remember, we have these two core beliefs that have dominated the illusion. And that's, I'm not okay, I won't be okay. AKA, I'm not okay, I won't be loved. Or I'm not okay, I won't feel safe here. Everything pretty much boils down to that. I won't be loved or I won't feel safe. So with this map, it's kind of like it becomes really easy to identify, okay, what's going on here? Well, where am I? And it's like a great checklist almost for our human aspect. Now, the core four sit in the middle here because they are the bridge. That's how you merge your human and soul, is by feeling those core four, because they were put into place to show us where we are caught in the illusion of separation. So how does this feel? Isn't this awesome?
It's very cool.
Cool.
Thanks.
I mean, like I said, it's not anything any of us don't know. It's the way it laid itself out that just made it so clear, and that's what we're in. We're in so clear, so we can go into soul clear. But we're going to take this a step further, because we thank these souls that have brought this remembering to us. And what is going on this year in 2020, we are being asked to go through the original core four. Okay, so that came through. And Mara's like, I have no idea what that means. I said, I have no idea what that means. But what has revealed itself to us just in the last couple days is we must The original are the soul, is the soul anger, the soul worry, the soul lonely, the soul sadness. So that's why some experiences you may have cleared out as a human, right? You did the human emotions out around it, might have a soul element to it. So if you find yourself just having this emotion about something, you know, number one, let's not judge it. Let's just feel it, because it can go like air. It's not a big deal. But I feel like we're clearing out the soul level now. Because how can the soul be soul clear unless it is up to date, just like the human had to get current and up to date and not have backlog. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
And that's why it's going to feel challenging to many, because they haven't even done the human emotions. They're going to have the human and the soul. Do you feel this? It's going to kind of be a double whammy. To me, this was like, oh, I get it. I see this now. That's why we're highlighting these core 4 emotions the first 4 months of the year.
And you felt it. You felt it. You were trying to solve for it. You felt something. You thought you had cleared it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, I had something, and I was like, before I went to lay me down, I moved through it, and I did all the stuff I do. And I had this, I still in the morning, it didn't feel complete, which was unusual. And so I'm like, what's here? What's here? I kept asking myself. And so I kind of asked Karen, I'm like, what's here? What do you know what I mean? I kind of wanted some, whatever. And she goes, no, it feels accurate what you did, what you said and stuff, because I wanted to make sure I wasn't whatevering. And that's when all this remembering came through about it's the soul emotions we're dealing with this year. So everybody, let's breathe into that. What do you get with that? Can you feel this, you guys? Does this make sense?
Yeah, it does. A lot.
Say
And
more.
I so appreciate you sharing it, Julie. Because it puts just for me, a whole different perspective on, my experiences that I've had. Because I'm particularly with my parents.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like, am I not done with that stuff yet? And so this just helps things be more clear for me.
Yeah. And again, if you recognize that, oh yeah, this is soul sadness I'm going through with those souls.
Yeah.
It's soul worry I'm going through,
Yeah.
So long. I mean, I don't know. It just feels, like you said, feels different. How about you, Jennifer?
Yeah, when you said that, it kind of got an experience of a visual of it, like a filling out of the feeling, or it like it put a container on how I've been feeling,
I feel that.
Yeah, like definition, like I get it, like I feel it more, like I understand it more.
Yeah. Like it makes sense, doesn't it? Like things click in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like trying to clear the truth of a feeling.
I feel this.
How do I truly feel about this? How do I bring the concept of truth through as a result of this? So was it I don't know. It's kind of like the law, the principle, the principles of honesty, of integrity, of loving someone. It's like those. You talked about the core emotions, but still, if someone if you haven't been honest and brought those messages forward from your soul or from your heart, then you're not clearing it.
Yeah, that's why this radical soul honesty is so significant. Because if we're being asked to clear not only the human emotions, but the soul, and everybody breathe, because the first 6 months of this year is about getting so clear. Okay? And then everybody is to be soul clear by June. You know, June's always a significant changeover month. That makes sense to me.
And I think this is a new learning for us too, a new awareness. So as we kind of, are you coming?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sue wants to
well, I don't know that I have that much to add other than it
Put it
just
down.
feels, just feels,
Put it down here.
that's true.
There.
You know, if you think of the soul, I just feel it feels deeper, more, you know, that's all I can.
Well, and you've been experiencing it. So like what has it been
Well-
like here to have to be not pursue.
No,
But
no.
Sue has been held to the
Well, yes, we all do. Those of us that know Julie, obviously, she doesn't let us get by with anything. But no, I remember the one morning I was making the bed here, and I just started crying, and couldn't even associate it with anything in particular other than there was just so much something, whatever that was. And one of the people were leaving, and I started to cry. It's like, you know, obviously she's a good friend, but even so, you know, I was, I don't know, feeling something really different about that, even just a lot. It wasn't even the loss.
The lonely.
The lonely. Thank you. That's what that was. Yep. That makes
And
sense.
which
What
one
is
are
lonely?
we highlighting this month?
It is that
Lonely.
Yeah.
Lonely is the highlight this
Well,
month.
lonely came up a lot for me here. That was a big one. Yeah. So that makes a whole lot of sense that I'm moving through that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway,
Okay.
that's it.
Thanks, Sue.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing, because I think the one thing we noticed is that you're not going to have a choice about your emotions going forward. They're just going to come out. It's not like you're not allowed to control them. They're supposed to just be there, and you're supposed to release them. So they may come out of nowhere, and you just to me, acknowledge them and say, oh, I must be clearing something. And it doesn't mean you have to know exactly what it is either.
Right.
We knew
Yeah.
Sue was clearing something. We knew that it was allowing her to shed something that was important. So I think we can learn from each other with this, because this is so new. So think about what you're going to go through in the next few days, because it would be nice for us to share how we move through this together.
Yeah, absolutely. And just even the way we're able to share and pass the iPad right now. You know, I mean, to me, this is part of the soul eye, you know, because look at how everybody's soul essence is coming forward and doing, I call soul speak. You know, it's like this deep wisdom is just coming out of people. And to me, it's so fun, because I just like hearing people talk, and I'm like, oh, Sad, you know what you just said? And they're like, no, because of course the soul's speaking, you know, the human isn't paying attention really, but it's happening to all of us. And particularly anybody that has felt called to do this piece, you're there, you have it. You know, I can, even Jennifer, when you were sharing, you know, I could hear it coming out. And I'm sure that maybe you are recognizing it more.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So anybody got any other comments about that? Yeah. Bring those over. Does that, I don't know. I just feel like that was a Visa card moment for me. I mean, it just is the next layer. And it actually just makes so much sense that these emotions are going to continually to evolve and show us how they have worked in all these different ways. Okay. So those of you that have ever done an experience with me, you know that things like to come out. Some art, which, yeah, this one first. Yeah. So I'm going to have you connect with our experience here because, and by the way, I just want to say thank you because we felt you guys. Even though you couldn't come physically, know that we felt your soul essence, and this is where we're at. It's so lovely that we're not restricted by that physicality in the way we once were, because this brain works. Calling Tokyo. It's almost like we got this 360 going around, and it's awesome. So, but just kind of breathe into this. This was Sue's.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
Wow.
felt that.
Nice shift. Anybody want to share what they experienced?
It's just so
Wow.
beautiful.
That's
Trudy, why don't
Sue
you go
for
ahead?
sure.
That's Sue for sure. Uh-huh. What about you, Jennifer?
It just feels so sweet, so beautiful, so nurturing, so loving,
Mm-hmm.
so comforting.
Yeah.
And it's nature and it's heart.
And don't you more and more, yeah, it was Sue's soul that called this forth, and my soul maybe interpreted it, but don't you feel like, oh my God, that's me too? You know, more and more we're going,
Well,
oh
it can
yeah,
shift. It can shift many.
this me.
Yeah.
You know, experiencing the other as yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like we're really moving into. Okay. I have them so nicely organized here. This was the next. Okay, this is the next one. Ooh, the butterfly likes to fly, apparently. So just kind of breathe into this. Do I have this up here? Oh, here we go. Oh, wow. And then there was a word that's on here. It was said friend on one side, and it says gentle on the other. So what do you experience, Jennifer, with that?
I feel like space energy or vortex energy with that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I would say that's true. And with what came through when we were doing this, that's absolutely. How about you, Trudy?
I was going to say cosmic. It feels really familiar to me.
Yeah.
Like I recognize it.
Yeah, nice. Okay. All right, ready for number 3?
Mm-hmm. It's playful and fun.
Mm-hmm. And the only one that wanted to go in cardstock. The other ones were canvases.
Feels like playing in the sand to me.
Yeah. How about you, Trudy?
For me, it feels like the epitome of innocence.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very happy one.
Yeah.
And the turtle is all cute too, but yeah. All right, we got one
What was
left.
the word on that one? Do you want to share?
Oh yeah, the word was at, and then full, F-U-L. So full. And then the last one, or the one that brought the rear up here, is this one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Woo! Oh my,
Oh my goodness.
my crown's working
Yeah.
again.
No kidding.
Whoa.
Boy, you guys opened that one up.
You went right with this.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
What do you got, Trudy? And by the
Feels like
word,
a star map.
yeah.
It is.
And the word she got literally was I am.
Hmm.
Wow.
Look at Jennifer. She's like, I got to rub my heart, my shoulders.
I love that one.
Yeah.
It feels like a different dimension underwater. And I heard Atlantis.
I felt
Yeah.
that.
And I turned on the TV 2 days ago. I was gonna turn on something else,
Uh-huh.
and I was just enthralled. There was this show on, and I realized it was Aquaman. I had never seen it before, but it was so beautiful, and I
Ooh.
ended up watching it.
Wow.
And
Wow.
it's about Atlantis.
Oh,
Cool.
who knew? Maybe
I know.
we'll watch that one tonight.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. To me, more and more, everybody's moving into that energy first. Oh, by the way, there's words. Or energy first. Oh, by the way, there's a human. Soul energy. And oh, by the way, there's a human behind there. So that's essentially what these represent. Now, this is a map. There is some kind of code recognition in the way they came out and the what do you call it? The progression of it.
Right. Sequence.
The sequence. Thank you. So, so yeah, I mean, it's just awesome. It's awesome.
The soul and the human are not separate. And that's what I'm learning, because I always like to leave the human behind. I always just wanted to go out in the cosmos and do whatever and do my meditation and separate from that. And what I learned here is that the human is this incredible vessel that brought forth our whole body, our wholeness of all our lifetimes and everything. It's holding it. And so don't ever, to me, honor that, understand that that's part of this too, and that we're all connected. And I when I was doing some of my meditations, I made sure that I acknowledged my human in that process. And I can tell you that I felt like it was fireworks, the difference. I couldn't get over that. And that was one of my really big learnings, is that it's all interconnected. Each one, now the human might take more of a back seat now because the soul is driving, but you're still in the same car. You're still in the same vehicle. And, I would dump mine off, I think is what I did. And,
she would cross her human.
Yeah. So this is kind of a new thing for me.
And I'm sure if Karen has done it, there's others out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, but that is really, really cool. We also want you to tap into some magical energy we got to experience here. And what night was that? Who cares? I don't care.
Friday night, you mean our circle?
With a band ball. Was that Thursday?
Oh.
That was Thursday. Thursday night, Was it that? I don't know.
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
No,
No?
Abominable was
It was earlier because it was before the storm.
Yep.
Okay.
Never.
So anyway, Thursday night, I was very insistent on watching Abominable. And so, Karen's figuring all this stuff out here, technology wise. I'm like, oh, of course, I brought the DVD. I'm all attached. I'm like, well, I got the DVD. Of course, DVD players are becoming rare. So anyway, we find it that we can purchase it and stuff, but Karen hooks it up where I'll watch it. We're like, oh, wow. And also she stops. And it basically said, well, you have to sign in or blah, blah, blah.
I had to create an account.
Yeah, but
So,
it
yeah.
let us watch the first part, like 15 minutes into it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was like, I can't believe it started it without having an account because we were on Amazon Prime or something.
Yeah.
Okay. So of course, then we're dinging around and I pick up my phone and all of a sudden I go, oh my gosh, you guys, it's 11:11. So there was this divine timing that we were to get into, and everything was supporting in us and getting in sync with that timing.
Mhm.
Now that was the night when supposedly there was these huge storms down here in Tampa. I guess my sister from California said, oh, I heard there was tornado warnings there. She goes, are you okay? I'm like, really? But part of it is, of course, we had heard some. We put a bubble around us. We were fine. But it was this whole thing. And that movie, if you have not yet seen it, it is so, so precious. And we watched that. And then we end up, oh
Yeah. We went outside.
I'm called outside because it was raining. And I felt pulled to go into her backyard. And I heard, look up. So, okay, so that's not a problem for me. But I look up and there's these dancing lights in the palm trees.
And on the wires, on all the way along
Yeah.
the wires, and yeah, in the trees. And it wasn't fireflies.
No,
They were like tinier and sparklier, and
they were like little beans.
yes.
And all we knew is it was a gift.
Mhm.
Like it was just a gift to experience them. And the more, it was like the movie. I said, you guys, this is like the movie. The more
we sent them love, the faster the lights would flash.
and more would come out.
Yeah. Yes.
And so it was like, oh my gosh, we're experiencing the movie. That's why I kept saying, oh my gosh, it's just like the movie. And so anyway, so that was quite magical. And then we did a full moon ceremony. Whenever that was, Sunday night perhaps.
the night.
Yeah. And Karen's got this lovely patio in the back and a bonfire pit and stuff. And so again, we were gifted with this cosmic team,
Mhm.
upload, download, all around load. And all these things were just like there to see in a way I haven't ever experienced before. And it's really fun because most of you guys know that mine is hearing. I hear things and then I sense it. And oh, by the way, I can see it. But this was all simultaneous.
Mhm.
And Karen was seeing it and acknowledging everything I was seeing.
Mhm.
And that's the fun of doing it with people.
With the group, yeah.
Because it's just like confirmation. And yeah, it was this whole thing. And that the full moon we just experienced, Mara said there was going to be this moon drop. So let's breathe into that term. Remember, we don't know what that means, but just breathe into the energy of it. And so there is this huge divine feminine energy push again this month. And that felt like it was part of the moon. Oh, I remember what we saw, that the moon was dropping, sucking up every grain of sand on the planet, and then taking it up, turning it to gold, bringing it back down into mandalas all over the planet.
Mm.
You feel? So
Yeah.
wherever you walk now,
It's going to feel different.
you're walking on light.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And again, Karen had this, or you told us about in one grain of sand. Go ahead and share.
Oh, well, one grain of sand can power a city. And I always wondered what that meant, but there's something that has to do with how that generates light, energetic light. Yeah.
And so I feel like that's what was getting activated with this full moon we just had.
Hmm. So,
So,
can I share something?
absolutely.
Thursday was my last day in DC, and the last thing we did is we went to the Air and Space Museum and went to an IMAX movie, and we saw the Apollo 11 movie where they land on the moon.
Oh, wow.
It was so cool, and there was code in that. It was like a documentary, right? But the code
Right.
was like heavy. Like one that I remember is, it's all on internal power now. I was like, it was just so clear. It was super cool.
Isn't it fun to watch those movies and really get what they were saying?
Yes.
Whether they were intentionally doing it or not, but
Yeah.
it was there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. And that was in
Oh.
1969.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's so fun. So anyway, those are, you can just kind of tap in and you can almost, let's just close our eyes, put our hands on our heart right now and just observe these golden grids that are everywhere on the planet now. I mean, you can almost see them lit up everywhere.
You want to see girl power?
Oh,
I love it.
one guess who that is, and the first one doesn't count.
It's
Same
Julie.
color top tonight. Yeah.
They said do a cartwheel, but if you really look at that,
No, look at that. You know, that's kind of like the V. That's the feminine power, right?
you feel that the light coming right into the womb,
right.
the creation,
It's beautiful.
and there is sand. If you look
I
at
don't
the
know if you can
sand,
see in her foot.
Yep.
How the sand is coming up there. See
it
that?
literally looks like a vortex, like the sand is being pulled up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So lots happening in there besides me just having fun. She's got a video, and the first time I did it, she's you as well to see it. So
All right,
then-
all right,
hey,
all
okay, you show.
Oops, let me get it up there. Shoot.
But you missed the part when I'm like not sure, right? So I kind of looking around going, I don't know if I should do this. Yeah, clear that out, Trudy.
Yeah, I want to show you one more thing.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you can see this. This is, oh, it doesn't really show up too good, but can you see the heart?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Venus, and those are the heart wings.
Mm.
And it just grew and got bigger and bigger and bigger above us. It never broke the you know, that's kind of like the wings of the angel there, or wings of Venus.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
That's great.
tonight
Yeah.
that showed itself. So every night we went to the beach, it was different. So the first day was, I don't know, what was that? It's so long ago. It was more maybe a typical beach day.
It was, yeah.
A little bit of wind.
Yeah.
The next day was gale winds. And we always had time to just go there independently. And I was guided to go there, and I had to lay in the sand. And it was blowing like across like a sandstorm, right? So I'm like, okay, I can't care. It's like going on my nose and my ears. I mean, it's just like, and they just said, lay there, you know? And just, I mean, I got up, I had sand, I was kind of like Sandman. I was kind of covered up.
You could see the sand just flying across the surface. It looked like waves.
It was that windy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. And then of course the storm, right?
Yeah.
And then the next day, the beach was littered with shells.
Mm.
Was littered with
Seashells.
tires.
Oh wait, Karen's
Tires.
got some remembering she wants to
Oh,
share to you.
please. Okay. So I was started out on the beach, I went on my walks on my own. And so this is the day after the storm. And we really didn't have much of a storm here. It passed over the Gulf, went to the north of us mostly. I mean, they talked about some palm trees down and things like that, but we never saw any of that. And when I went down to the water, I could tell that there was a lot of turbulence. There had been a lot of turbulence somewhere else because those waves were brought ashore. They said that the tide was up 5 feet from normal.
Wow.
So when the tide went back out, you could tell that the beach area where the waves had been, because the tides come in and out, was probably 5 times the width. And so when I find things on the beach after a storm, I always pick them up, and so that they don't go back into the ocean. So I see a tire, and I pull it out, and I drag it up, and I see another one, and I pull it out, tip it over, drag it up, and then this couple comes up to me and says, "Oh," I mean, they were so impressed that I was stopping to like clean up the beach that they wanted to help me. And I said, "No, I can do it myself. I can do it myself." And then I go, "Oh no, that's probably an untruth that I need to work on." So they stayed with me and probably got about a dozen done. And at this point, we stop and we look up the beach, and it's endless. It's like a banquet table that never ends with tires. And I'm thinking, where did these all come from? Did a boat sink, with all these tires? Where did they come from? And we found out from a woman there that there are tires that are off the shore to create, it's like a reef, and it protects the shoreline so that they don't lose the sand from the beach. And that they would come and pick it up so that we should leave everything alone. And we're going, okay, someone else is going to take care of this. Don't have to take this on. But it was really interesting. It was all like man-made debris is what I saw. The next day, go down to the beach, all the tires are gone. They have picked them all up. I don't know what they did. They must have had a little truck and they picked them all up. They were all gone. And what they do is they take them back out to sea and add them back to the reef, right? But what was there instead was thousands of seashells, thousands, all beautifully intact, many of them alive still. And so it was like, okay, so the storm happened 2 days ago. 1 day ago is, all these tires, and then now we see all these shells. And so we thought this was, again, the beach and the ocean giving us lessons. Like, there's going to be rough winds, there's going to be turbulence. We're going to see our way through this. Our human is going to have challenges to work through some of those things, right? And we are not meant to do them all on our own. We need to be together and see that some things others can take care of. And then the third day was, here was the shells, the original essence, the original, things of the earth were there to reveal themselves and to be part of this process too. So it was really like a storytelling that was right in front of our eyes. And today there was still a lot of shells, but far less. And if all you had to do was look under the surface a little bit of the sand, and more of those shells would be revealed. So it's kind of like some decided to show themselves. And if you really wanted to find more, you could go underneath that surface and see more of what was there. But it was so beautiful to see how those stories were being told to us if we were just paying attention. So,
Yes, and Karen's human remembered that she doesn't have to muscle through and just, let's get it done, let's clean this up, I'm gonna do this.
work harder and just get it done.
And the tires are saying, you'll just get tired now. So anyway,
Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, amongst all this, I was guided to look at Facebook, which is interesting because I haven't really been online. And Todd was on there saying, we're going to do this soulology gathering. And he said, I'm going to put details up later, blah, blah, blah. I'm in Florida. And I'm like, and he said where he was. And I go, Karen, where is it? She goes, no, it's only about an hour away. I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel this. We are to do this. And so whenever it was that next day, I went there and I saw the invitation, and it was to that cosmic, what was it called?
Del Sol.
Improv.
Yeah. Improv. Thank you.
Oh yeah, Cosmic Improv.
Yes.
Oh,
And so then which was about an hour away. And so we ended up going up there, and which was perfect because, I mean, we got to meet this really cool, sweet wellness center where they held it. But there was only like 13 of us around a circle when we started, and Todd was there, and I was only sitting like 2 seats away from him, but there was nothing in me that could look at him. I couldn't acknowledge him. I couldn't look at him. And so we're doing the whole thing. We did the drumming and the chanting and all the stuff we
The
did.
singing bowls and lots of singing bowls.
Right. And of course, my soul just got up there and did whatever, because I'm sure I wasn't eccentric at all at that improv. But anyway, so at the end he goes, are you Julie Lyden? He goes, man, I've been watching you. I know that. And he goes, I don't usually remember names of a lot of the people I interview. But he goes, somehow I remembered yours.
Of course he did.
So anyway, that's how we ended up connecting. And so he ended up being in St. Pete's Beach because his daughter, he hasn't seen for 7 years, just had a grandchild, and she lives here. So he ends up coming there, and then he came over today and we did the show. So if you haven't seen the show, I've heard it's quite entertaining. There it is. There we are.
Oh, cute.
Todd and I.
It was good.
So it's on Facebook. Yeah. And and just how everything knows itself. So he was just sharing how he wasn't really sure where he was going next and blah, blah, blah. And of course, then Karen shares, oh, well, I'm not going to be back here till mid-March. Stay here. And it was just like this everything just clicked in. And it's just, this time is so beautiful if we can just show up and not have to plan and not have to worry about how it's going to, whatever. There is so much fun and grace and space in all this. And there's no way we could have planned any of that. Now, I have to say, before I came down here, I had some awareness. I would say it's kind of like it's farther away, but it's kind of there. You read it. And I kind of had a sense that him and I'd be having a conversation again. But I had no idea how that was going to occur. And most of the time he says, well, send me a message. We'll put you on the list and we'll get you on the show. Well, you heard him today. He has like 150 people to get back to. And so this, because of the timing, it was to be. And so it happened. We didn't have to do anything to have this occur. So it was just fun. Yeah. And if you want to see the improv thing, that's also on his Facebook page. So it's under Todd Medina.
I highly recommend it.
Medina. Yeah, it is very good. And you get to see everybody because he really moved the camera around.
And you get to see all Julie's expressions.
Oh my God. And of course I go, who else wants to do it? Of course my hand, Soul's hand goes, I will. Like, oh my gosh. Kara's like,
She said she
Here's
got her
a-
inspiration from sitting on the toilet. That got a smile out of him.
yeah,
I haven't gotten that far.
it's pretty raw and uncut. So anyway, it's fun. But it's just, this is such a unique time. And I really feel I got to actually speak about Team Lift. So do you feel that it got its first introduction? And I don't know what that means, but somehow this is all going to fit together here. And the pieces are revealing themselves to us.
Yeah.
So why don't we just kind of go around, and I want to hear from you guys again and share anything that you want to share, and to kind of bring this around and close the circle tonight. Trudy, I'm sorry, your face is here, so I was like, oh.
I know. It's okay. Wow. I got a couple of awarenesses, completing a couple of circles tonight, regarding the human being left behind
Okay, nice.
from something Mara did with me in 2008 or whenever that, I don't remember the time period, but that was a theme.
Okay.
And also, I lost it. It was just here. Dang.
Well, we can come back if it pops
Okay,
back.
good, because it felt important.
Okay, maybe there's a timing to it, so we
That could be.
allow. Yeah, so Trudy, we all give you a hand. She figured out the technology. Yay. Good for you. Look at you grow. So, and thanks for showing up and holding this beautiful presence that you do.
You're
so
welcome.
we honor your
We
soul.
could feel it. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Yeah. Jennifer, how about you?
So the thing that I starred that really stood out to me that you said, Julie, was trust the steps, everything fits together.
Mm.
I mean, it just like fits. It fits.
Yeah.
It's like I get like, yes, it feels so true and so helpful right now, because I feel like I'm kind of all over the place because of all the travel and time is so different.
Yeah.
That helps kind of solidify something in me. Like it's something to hold on to.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yay. Well, and thank you for showing up tonight too, and blessing us with your beautiful soul essence.
Of course.
And so Karen, why don't you go next?
Well, thank you for letting me share some of the experiences here, and helping me to remember what we did all experience in such a short amount of time. Just gives me the feeling that there is a quickening, and we're getting just a ton of help around it. I mean, we're just being surrounded by so much love. I can't feel anything but gratitude with everything that I see, because it's not me having to figure it out or think about it. It's me just showing up. And that's a really good feeling. So take time for you is kind of my thought. Take time for you. It doesn't just have to be meditation. It means take time being present. Like when you're doing things, look around, you'll be just shocked and surprised what's just already just around you. And I'm hoping I can take this feeling with me, because it's not unique to the place we're in. We just had the opportunity to kind of get some of the noise out of our life to be more concentrated and focused in it. So
That is a total download.
Thank you, Karen.
Yeah, that was great.
I know that was a
All
lot.
in my head is gone.
Oh gosh, I keep covering it, don't I? I think for me,
you don't have to hold it.
I That's true. That's true. Just being present. Present is huge at all times, and I feel that it allows us to be open to so many possibilities. The magic truly does happen, and it was obvious here in this particular situation, event, experience that we had. Obviously, it was a beautiful space to have this in, but it can be anywhere. I'm taking this home with me, and I know I'm different as a result of everything that occurred here. So I'm grateful.
And tell them about the pictures we took.
Oh, yeah. The before and afters.
Oh gosh, yeah. Julie decided that she wanted to record how the change that occurred in each of us. So she took a picture when we arrived, a facial, and then again at the end. And it truly was pretty, yeah, there was a large change in all of us. Each one of us just have a softer look to us.
Mhm.
And and the eyes are larger. I mean, the emotional pieces that we went through allowed for us to really, oh my gosh, there's one woman that was here that was new to this experience. Her beyond words. I mean, looking at her when she came and when she left, it was incredible. So anyway.
Awesome. Thank you, Sue.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah, and it's so amazing to me how much light comes in, not only for us personally, but I really feel as we sync up that it's exponentially now working with us. I could really start a new marketing plan. I mean, seriously, everybody looked 10 years younger in their pictures. They're like, oh my gosh. So we'll maybe share some of those on a private Facebook page or something. But I put them side by side for them to see. And even myself,
Wow.
you know, it was, oh, wow. It was just wow. And it's just really, really fascinating. So we want to remember to do that when we do this work, because it helps our human to show the power of soul and this light that is entering our vehicle and shining forth in a whole new way. So my heart goes out and hugs each one of you. Thank you so much for being. Thank you so much for just holding space and being the love that you are here. So can't wait to get back and see you in the physical. We'll probably do an experience here in February. So we'll see when that is. But I feel like it'll be time to have a connecting gathering. Plus, kind of have some seashells for you guys. All right. Take care, everybody.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.